to go online, the need to go digital. By far, that is the one big shift, and I think it has not spared any industry.
The big change coming is that marketing earlier used to be only print and television. I think a lot of marketers are trying to understand this digital space, and I'm not sure everybody understands that so well. Of course, there's so much written about. If you Google, there's so much people are doing, but I don't think people have cracked it. I don't think just by making something on YouTube or tweeting or even be digitally present. I think there are a lot of attempts are happening, which of course without attempting people won't get it. But I don't think it's yet been cracked. So that's the biggest change, like how to reach the consumer. So the screens in our lives have changed. Rather than just spending time in front of television or reading a paper, I think the mobile screen has taken over. So how to reach the customer through that, I think that's a big change.
Everybody trying to get their act in the whole e-commerce space today, because the way consumer is changing and the consumption is changing. So all of us want to be there. Nobody's got the model right. Nobody's got, it's not profitable. So people are really grappling. So I think the last 2 years, it's your everyday, and in retail works week. So for 52 weeks, we're only discussing how to go, when to go, which is the right market, what is the right model, whom to partner. And we are all, I think, trying, testing, learning. But that's been the whole online game has really caught us.
See, in my business, I would say three things. First, technologies become center stage. It's no longer back-end operations of your function. So it's critical for the business, for everyone in the business. That's one big, huge thing. The second, I have to today talk to the business, which is both empowering and challenging, because they understand business. So the old ways of, talking to them, complex stuff are gone. How to get them excited about the possibilities versus thinking of technology is the new challenge. And the third, I would say, just fusing of different disciplines. I think the lines and boundaries of different functions, different disciplines is all blurring. Design, gamification, digital, physical. How do you bring them together and deliver a memorable experience? It's both challenging and exciting. When they all come together, really magic happens.
For me, and as well as what we believe at LinkedIn, content marketing has been the biggest change. Now, content marketing has existed for many years, even before digital was there, right? Like the Michelin Red Book was a way of a content marketing, but with digital, the ability to share the right content with the right audience at the right context is so powerful that content marketing is back, and it's going to be one of the most powerful and I believe disrupting strategy. And the main thing there is quality of the content. If you can have a content which has a strong value proposition, and at LinkedIn we say if you can share back with the consumer some insights which will make them productive and successful, that content will resonate well.
Two levels. One is of course the whole hybrid model of click, brick and in between. We earlier saw ourselves as a brick company, and then we said, we need to be in digital as well, in the click space as well. But I think the reality of India is that you really have to look at a hybrid space and be able to pretty much deliver the service agnostic to which channel it is. So which is why our online channel doesn't compete with the offline channel. It complements it. Because if they compete, you'll actually kill the business, because they're forever, the customer will try to get a good deal online or bargain offline. But essentially what we're trying to do is create two clear ecosystems and allow the customer to be able to move from one to another depending on their comfort.
The whole advent of digital and social in our lives, but I say that's a very obvious answer, because I'm sure most people would think that that's how marketing has evolved. But I think the one thing which actually intrinsically has changed a bit more, I think about a decade back, large brands started, talking to the consumer almost in a unidimensional fashion. There were large campaigns, and scale and size and, impact became important. I think what's changed and beautifully over the last 2 years is the fact that engagement and the consumer has once again come onto the center, in the sense what social has done, where crowdsourcing and the feedback of people has become so important and intrinsic to brands. I think once again the power shift has taken place from large brands on back into the hands of the consumer. And I think in any economy, in any sort of a situation of a market, that's the best solution, that's the best situation, simply because the consumer should always be most powerful. So I think that change of how digital and particularly social has made the consumer and his voice central again to a brand's journey is the most interesting thing.
So I think the biggest strategy change is happening, is reflective of what the consumer is doing, which is absorbing and soaking in a lot of information. And similarly, the brand guys and the marketers and the companies need to also absorb and soak in a lot of information. And this information then gets curated into knowledge. I think from being an economy or a world where money was power, today we have moved to a situation where knowledge is power. If you look at a lot of the social activism which happens on the social media, it's not because that person has got money or he's a leading member of a political party, but it is happening because he has got the power of knowledge. So somebody somewhere can go and detect a flaw in your product because he knows and he has knowledge of it, and suddenly it becomes a raging sensation and your product can get badly affected. So I think it's the economics of knowledge which is driving the entire thing now.